Well, ladies, gentlemen, and everything in between, welcome to the 7th Valkyrie podcast, brought to you by me, Frida, and all the booty-bouncing bitches at the pit. And everybody else who works at Flair, but, that's about the same thing, ain't it? If you'd like to get more of the full experience and rock and roll your body to a beautiful adventure, you can explore with us. Find bonus features, listen to the entire seasons, get extra artwork, and listen to behind-the-scenes commentary, all on the 7th Valkyrie app. So what are you waiting for? Have a good time, and come join us for some partying, some rocking, and some rip-roaring good times. Hello, everyone. And for this week's update, you'll probably immediately notice that the audio quality is a little bit different. And that's because I'm actually recording off of my laptop from the mountains of Monteverde. I'm up here with our clients over at Ocotea, enjoying a lovely trip and getting to know them. I'll probably be writing several articles about it. But for now, I'm just enjoying a quiet moment after a long 2-hour, really 3-hour bike ride. The last 2 hours were just climbing back up. And yeah, just wanted to take a little moment to give you guys an update. First of all, sometimes I like the idea of getting to record a podcast, quote unquote, on the road. It's different getting to check in with you guys, outside of my usual studio. So I kind of think that's a little bit fun. And another reason was I have continued to write a bunch of fun and interesting podcasts, and those will keep coming out. Some of them I do pre-record. But this one I actually wanted to give you guys a pretty timely update because since I last spoke to you about 7th Valkyrie specifically, lots of chapters have gotten written, and all of the exec sums, which are executive summaries, I abbreviate them when I'm writing them on my task list, are done. So the outlines and layout, and not just like the outlines, but like the blocking and, keyframing, as it were, of season 2 is done. And I'm about 4 chapters from my in-depth summaries, and from the in-depth summaries, I take the chapters and actually flesh them out and write the words that you guys see and hear. So what I mean to say for all of this is we're getting close. We're getting very, very close. And I wanted to share that with you guys. And I also wanted to share a little bit of this wonderful trip with you guys. I'm a fierce believer that travel, all the travel I've been blessed to be able to do, and exposure to lots of different people and getting to work in lots of different industries, getting involved with people from all walks of life, just being a documentarian and storyteller through my marketing business. It's been absolutely fuel for the 7th Valkyrie. Yesterday we got to see the resplendent Quetzal, a family of them as they were mating and flying through the sky, looking like these tails that ripple like serpents. And there's a reason they were named after the ancient god Quetzalcoatl, because they're so beautiful and gorgeous. We saw rainbow toucans, peccaries. This is ridiculous. I've come up here before and not seen anything like that. Was ripping down the mountainside on, with like huge gorges and valleys and the Gulf of Nicoya out in front of me. It was a brutal climb back up to the top, but you ride through these little mountainside villages and you see people riding along on horseback, and you see little strange attractions, like this place where there's like 75 goats that have like amazing structures and jungle gyms to play on. I don't know why. I've never seen it advertised as like, oh, come see the goats. But anyway, it's a little chilly up here, it's the cold. I think it's one of the coldest areas in Monteverde outside of Chiripó, which is the highest mountain in Monteverde, where it gets up to freezing. But yeah, it's like my body's not used to it after being a coastal boy for a while. But yeah, I don't think I need to tell you guys that travel is an awesome source of inspiration. But sometimes it's worth repeating. Like, the world around us, when you get out of your own little bubble, like, there are so many things that you realize about the way that things are done, about the way that people see the world. There is, like, the world is so fascinating when you get up and go and explore it and adventure, and take a moment to drink it all in. And I'm not talking about, and it's amazing because programs like No Reservations, Parts Unknown, Animal Planet, Travel Channel, like, these are ways that from the comfort of our own homes we can experience a window into other forms of life. And depending on the quality of the quality and the curiosity of the producer, you get different levels of perspective. But it's so different to just be in another place and to live with another people and to feel another culture around you and to explore another entirely different natural world. When you can take a moment and just drink it all in, it suddenly becomes like, for me, if it supercharges my writing, and like it's funny, people talk about like, oh wow, you create all these things and they're so weird and out there, and I'm like, well, they're actually not all that weird and out there compared to like the stuff that I know has, like when you go back to like animals that have existed on this planet for super long, and you talk about all these fascinating cultures and the most interesting, outlandish, condensed versions of those, and it's like you just layer it all in and it becomes grist for just some beautiful, interesting, fascinating stories. So for me, if maybe the summary of this one is, I hope that in this little road podcast, as the second season's coming not to a close, because it'll be a little while before I can finally, I've got to finish writing, then I've got to do a full final edit, and then the record, and then obviously edits will take a little while, but we're making progress. And I don't know, it's interesting. Sometimes I think about, I question like, oh, well, because this was a week that I had a little bit of light work on, and I was a little disappointed because I was like, oh, I was planning on kind of just locking in and writing a ton of 7th Valkyrie. Because I do think about you guys. I'm not just sitting here messing around living my life, being like, oh, I'll write it eventually. Like, I do care about you guys, and I do want to continue sharing this story, but I just know that, like, when you take a moment and explore and adventure and step out of the world that you know and the world that's comfortable, it's such emotional, intellectual, and creative fuel, and for me, that's all I need to get rolling on the 7th Valkyrie. So things are popping, progress is being made, and I'm taking the steps I need to infuse this project with as much love, life, and adventure as I can. And I can't wait to see how this little batch of getting out and living life with every fiber of my being turns into some awesome content for the 7th Valkyrie one day. I've already got an idea for where it might settle in. Ooh, maybe, who knows? Anyway, ciao, and have a good night, guys. Or day, or afternoon, or morning, whenever you listen to this.
Well, thank you, ladies, gentlemen, everything in between, everything around, and whatever makes you proud. You've been listening to the 7th Valkyrie podcast, brought to you by me, Frida, and the entire Twerk Team Thursday crew at Flair. And all the Twerk Team Tuesday crew as well. I would hate to leave them out. If you'd like to get more adventures, listen to the whole season, get extra bonus content, additional artwork, and behind-the-scenes commentary, the kind of stuff that really gets your booty poppin', you can join us on the 7th Valkyrie app at the link in the description. And in the meantime, throw it down, throw it up, and keep it moving, baby.